What are the chambers of your mind that are truly open? Let's speak like this. Places of mind are modes of speech, fabrics of language. Places of mind are modes of speech.
I needed to find the face of each. There were various places to be today. I needed to find the shape of each.
I was observing modes of behavior that are related to each of the spaces I wanted to hold open around me as frames of reference.
There were various places to visit. Various simultaneous angles of the axis.
It was as if I was standing in the place of the vow like this. All that is thoroughly loved is alive. All that is thoroughly loved is functional, active, alive with wisdom.
In the midst of it, in the center, in the primordial, primeval, original place, you will always find the dances. Of the purified sentences. In the center you will always find the dances of the purified sentences that have the most generous spread of joy. Their reach is most generous for the loudness of the purity of their joy. In the center you will find the circular dances of the pure sentences. And their unbearable calling into joy.
This discipline was kind of whipping yourself into honesty, like a presence of the child would whip you back into honesty, like the fierce, brutal possibility of a child would whip you back into clarity, will whip you straight into life, will whip your marrow back into function, into clarified function. Just like
thus a mountain is always formed around this primordial cave of wisdom. The mountain is the symbol for immovable.
We walked onto the velvet ground of this morning and listened to this voice that placed the possibility of a center, that just seeded the possibility of a center that holds all pathways to all the rooms, all the chambers, all the spaces.
In the labyrinths of this mountain, we got lost from one another because of how
the lines, there was a memory of behavior of line. There is a kind of a memory of line behavior that will tell you about the space you stand in.
deep we entered in the cave. Because of our love for these children, we got lost. Because of the love, because of this intoxication of the flesh of the stone. Because of the kind, ancient intoxication of the ecstasy of stone.
I was standing on the ground of this promise that I said. I remember I said to her, "You are always with your bright angels. You are always with your massive angels. You are never without
There were
them."
various shapes of bodies to be honored.
And I remember that I needed to practice the possibility of being coherent with my own words.
And I asked myself, how generous can I stand in my patience? I asked myself, how tough can I be in asking you for this training? How ruthless can I be in asking you for this training? What was this training? This training was about observing the various homes, the various houses, the various places of possible purpose of today. It was as if I could invoke several of my friends to finally open the work that I truly longed for, to finally open the generosity of such structure of possibility. If I could just kindly stop my eyes so as to observe them, each in their own lab, each in their own domain. My friends, my awakened bodies of love, my awakened organs of love because of the vow that I place before you, my dear daughter. I shall not deceive you with the promises of faith. The promises of faith are not deception. The promises of faith are not deception. The promise of faith is not deception. The substances of the sentences of true ecstasy are not deception. We shall be together thus.
When you can stand in front of the tough, fierce judgment of the child that will ask you, do you stand in your complete ecstasy? Do you stand in your complete nature? The presence of the child will continuously ask you this. Do you stand in your complete presence? Do you stand in your total presence? Show me your body. Show me the shape of your world.
All the rooms carefully prepared for each. All of these rooms carefully prepared for each. A father would tell their child, "You are never alone. Your angel is always with you with its wings." A father would always want to say to their child, "Your mighty angel is always there with you. Your mighty angels are always there with you." And thus, the Father himself, as a child, as the child that he is, will make it real. First, the Father will make it real in his own domain, that the angels are truly there. That the angels are truly there.
The child will confront you thus. Show me the shape of the game. Show me the shape of this game. Show me the shape of this game that you want me to play, that you called me into. Show me the shape of this game. Come on. What the fuck is this game? Show me the shape of this game that you called me into. Ah. Does one awaken to the territory, to the clarified proportions, clarified architecture of your life, so that you can finally stand in coherent posture, finally being responsible in front of the beastly nature, the ferocious dragon child. Ah, come on. So that you may learn the nature of the wings that guard the possibility of a precise function, the nature of the swirling flames of these wings that guard the impossible space, that guard the gate into this promised land, this primordial possibility of truth, this primordial, original force of possibility, this primordial, total range, aperture of possibility. Come on. The complete degrees of freedom opened as functional limbs, when you can fully remember, when you can choose your ground with every step, choose with every sentence the kind of flesh that speaks it. With every sentence you discern what are the experiential grounds that speak it, so that you're not just some puppet of unclarified forces within you.
In the place where all is seen. Of course, the shape of the wing of an angel will be simultaneously seen by all the possible mighty friends. What do you mean? If there is such a thing as a museum in the center of the world where all most revered and loved and consequential works of art have been gathered, and they all have their eyes opened to see one another. All of the muscles, the limbs, the membranes, the veins, the nerves of their love, each of the creators, showing the boiling of their love. Of course, the wings of this angel of course, the lines of the wings of this angel, of course, the sentences that form the body of this angel will not be ignorant of that. Of course, we call it angel for a very clear reason. Of course, we call it angel because it can shift, because it can travel, because it can fly from one world into another. Of course, the father will say to the child, "Your angels are always with you. Your angels are always with you." Of course, the father will be honored And what is a greater joy for a father than to be contradicted, thoroughly contradicted by their child, wildly, violently contradicted by their child? What other joy is for the master but for the pupil to awaken into revolt, into immaculate revolt? That is, the children in their wild dances will shake off, will test, will put to the test the very flesh of the Father, to see whether it can withstand the dances, the ecstatic dances of pure joy. A child will always ask, do you stand in the joy of these angels you talk about? Are you working for their homes? Are you making their homes? Are you breathing the spaces of their possibility? Are you placing your sentences of will in the resonance of their possibility? These children in their wild, ecstatic, primordial, original dances of joy will continuously ask the Father, what will they ask the Father? They will ask, your friends. Tell me about your friends. Are they with you now? Are the wings of your vehicle activated? Are the wings of these vessels, these ships that you call angels, truly activated? Can they take you anywhere? Can they take you anywhere in space and time? The child will ask. This angel will speak thus, my lines my sentences are there where we all stand in this rejoicing of our creation, that is the fullness of our lives. It is like an artist exhibiting his work. It is like the body of humanity tasting the clarified blood of creation. It is like this glorious temple of a museum. where one's intimacy becomes architecture. I know what you mean when you ask me about my friends. I know what you mean when you ask me about my friends. I know where you ask me to travel when you ask me about my friends. I know what you want me to say, my dear child. I know where you want us to travel when you ask me about my friends. Are they with you?
So that you stand as a fierce tornado of the dialogue of revelation continuously, so that you stand as a mathematics of paradox, so that you train the electricity of your bones into the mathematics of paradox, so that you finally achieve this monstrous, terrifying, ferocious possibility, so that you finally step into it, so that you finally step into function, so that you can finally step into such a possibility, so that you finally proceed into it. Come on! So that you achieve the very basic ground of integrity before your child, so that you can answer the first question, so that you can finally answer the first question, which is, why did you call me here? What did you want? What the fuck did you want? What did you want? What do you want? Oh. Come on. Some kind of agricultural skill in seeding these libraries, some kind of agricultural patience in stretching your hand into experiential domains with clarity, stretching your hand and taking the seed and giving it the body it longs for, giving it the body it longs for. Let's learn this divine game of hide and seek. Let us stand in a flesh that translates itself into a new logic continuously. Let us train in this possibility of a presence that translates itself into the domain of a different logic continuously. Somehow, this acid bath of what is utmost crucial, what is most imperious, what is most urgent, this acid bath of what is most urgent. This stepping into this training, this acid bath of leaving aside inertial format, leaving aside what is inertially apparently here, leaving fucking aside. All of a sudden, when you have a true guest, like in your room, when you have a guest, when you have a truly honored guest, you can leave aside the flesh of the ordinary. Like you can leave aside the flesh of ordinary time or ordinary space. Come on.
The room of the vow was also open. This room where we would find the appropriate shapes to see one another truly. This room of birth. We shall travel to any place you ask me to go. Today we shall travel to any place you will ask me to go. I shall not close my eyes. There is a place of pain, there is a map of pain surrounding me. There is a map of pain surrounding me that has not yet been discovered. Let us open it thus. There is a sort of fabric of travel, and it is whispered in the kindness of this unbearable honesty where I can say, their voices have not been heard. Their attempts have not been witnessed. And why is that? This is a place where we decide we shall not forget. This is a place where we shall not forget, and I can ask you so as to stay awake. Tell me about the joy of this. Tell me about the joy of this. Clarify to me the joy of this line. Each thrill must be honored like a forest honors the seeds thrown onto the ground, like a forest is a celebration of each seed. Just like this. This is the ground. Here you have the seeds in the ground. The seeds will grow into trees so that they celebrate the voice of each in the membranes of the wind. So that they celebrate together in their articulated motions of will, because they are born together. It is like this. The lines happening here are a dialogue thus, because I can ask you, because you are here in patience, because you are here in this generous intimacy that can listen to everything, that can clarify everything, that can speak plainly, clearly, softly. This is the birthing place. What do you mean? What is this? It is the place where we met. It is this room of creation. Where you have all the unwitnessed pages, unachieved attempts, truly. All of these rotten canvases of painful memories, all of the rotten canvases of inglorious attempts. Attempts of portraits that did not work. Attempts of portraits that were forgettable, imprecise, inaccurate, thus forgettable.
I remember the voice of Sko, that voice that woke me up in the morning.
Was the architecture of their destiny to be so severe, so austere? Was that a curse? Was that a law? Was that necessary? There is a dialogue. There is a dialogue I ask of you.
In the center of this ocean of marrow that was the clarified forest, the clarified ground, the possibility of opening up the empires, the kingdoms of the marrow right in the white flesh of the ordinary page.
In this place I want to stand with you. Certain kinds of friends will gather. In this other place I wish to stand with you. Certain friends will wish to join.
And you can pierce through the flesh of the ordinary. How does one do it? Come on. Honor the possibility of such arrival. Honor all forms of experience that made it possible. Stand in the firm call of this outrageous, this absurd, this paradoxical calling until the whole field is mature, it's ready to show its harvest. Until the whole field is ready to show its harvest. Just with the eyes hidden in your spine, the electric eyes, continuously remember this path of clarity, this path of clarity when you can just take back all the threads of delusion. Take back all the inertia of irresponsible speech, irresponsible will, like all of this falling asleep into some kind of inertial identity. All of this like the stable nature of the world. It's a kind of the way this landscape of the world seems stable, objective, is a sort of cradle to put you into the sleep of identity. It's like stand in this sleep of an objective identity and
the dialogue, the possible dialogue, the mind as dialogue, the line as dialogue will say thus. My angel will say thus. When your flesh moves in the shape of the library, when your shape longs for the stainless steel of a majestic structure, you actually want the love of your friends that you discovered there. Be clear about what you love. Be clear about what you love. Be clear about what you love. Always be clear about what you love so as to travel swiftly through domains to never get caught in imagination. Be clear about what you love. You remember the motions of Husserl's voice in your own bones, your sentences traveling together with his sentences. Be clear, be precise about that. Let us make a temple of very precise clarity and love. When one dies, their whole life flashes in front of their eyes. The Holy Grail, the vessels. Listen to their shapes. Listen to their shapes. This work is thus. How do I recognize Do I recognize them? The velvet. This place is not far from the cave of birth. This place of the vessel, the softness, the vessel that carries the water is not far. From the cave where the spring of birth is. This spring of desire. The very possibility of a line that can speak, the very possibility of a line, two sides of dialogue, a line desired as dialogue, a line that can point with love, a line that can be trained in love, thus. That hand that will honor the gift of you. I wish to find that hand that can honor the gift of you. It is a hand of immaculate flight. I wish I can find this hand that will honor the possibility of you. I shall just digest any possibility of beauty, any possibility of a world digested into the clarified shape of will that will honor the gift of you, that will honor the gift of you, that will honor this gift of you, that will honor the very gift of you. What do you mean? In the middle of the cave there is a springing substance of desire. In the middle of the cave, the place of the creation. In the midst of it, here, in the deafening, unbearable joy of all children, that is the very definition of the void necessary, the purity necessary, the tough dances of the void, the sentences purified, the purified ground. It is my daughter reminding me to stand in fierce ecstasy, no matter what, because there is no other, there is no life outside this purified, ruthless, ecstatic creation. So right here, where we can translate all space into mind, all space into time, where we walk in dignity because we can travel anywhere. We walk in dignity together because we walk through our domains, we walk in our gardens. We walk in dignity together because we walk in our true gardens. What do you mean? We can travel anywhere in the full vision of the experiential ground of any longing, any calling, any impulse that is born in our flesh is fully listened to, thus visited, thus visited. We visit any voice that gets to be born in our flesh as an impulse. We give birth to it, we give it adequate body. For the well, the spring of desire here is such generous nature, because the spring of desire here is of such a generous nature. Because I love you thus, because I honor you thus, because I can remember. is of it is of the nature of a deer. It is of the quality of the presence of a deer. The soft, soft attention.
The two wings were like this, the two wings of one step onto the ground of common experience. The other is listen clearly to its pain, to its voice, to the weight of its cries. Reveal its true cry, reveal the nature of its equation, and then stretch into the possibility of its skies. Like right now. Like right now. Like right now. What can I remember? What do I remember of the fucking nature of this vision? The nature of this vision. The nature of the possibility of it. The duty of it. The mission of it. The urgency of it. The weight of it. The boiling of it. The boiling of its substance. The promise of it. The echoes, the resonance, the waiting of it. The ancient waiting of it. Come on. Come on. Just discern all kinds of, like, all the stories, discern all the stories, all the forms of caliber of stories, all around. So discern, what is it? Discern that fabric of the true story of the vision, so as to just be born in the possibility of some kind of coherent some kind of possible integrity. Only if you can taste how it feels, like come on, it's like a whip, just come on, just like the discipline of a whip that reminds you of the resonance of the membranes of the true story you stand in, like the true story that this place is, the true fucking story of what, like, the brutal encounter with life is. The brutal, alien, terrifying, monumental possibility of the present moment. How does one stand in that? How do you fucking stand in? Just to simply awaken to the brutal, monumental, terrifying nature of what existence is. How does one do this? How does one stay awake in this perspective? The nature of a vow is this. The ground of a vow, the possibility of the friendship is of this nature. One awakens into discernment of caliber of story. One awakens to the possibility of discerning the caliber of a perspective, the caliber of a purpose. And one attains solid stillness, solid silence, solid patience into attaining the discernment that provides coherent action, a coherent body that is aligned with a certain caliber. So this is the friendship that I stand in. This is the ground of friendship. This is the ground of reality.